how long should my coil last? One of the key factors in knowing if your coil needs to be changed is if a burnt taste is prevalent and starts muting the flavour of the e-liquid. Personally, as soon as I get that taste, I change the coil. I don't want it to ruin my experience of an e-liquid. But when you change that coil, the liquid that was in the tank when the coil essentially started burning out needs to be replaced as well. Don't leave it in there because it will take on that sort of burnt flavouring. So even with a fresh coil, you'll still get that sort of echoed within your e-liquid. The realistic recommended coil life for something like this realistically should last between 7 and 10 days of moderate use. Essentially, the rule of thumb is the more you use it, the quicker you'll go through a coil. If you use a device infrequently, you might need to change a coil every 5 to 7 days because the coil is oversaturating. The coil isn't being used enough. It's sitting there in the e-liquid. It's soaking that e-liquid up constantly. It's not being used enough to turn into vapour, and your coil is going to drown itself essentially. Another key factor in whether your coil needs to be replaced or not is leakage. So if you're noticing some small amount of leakage through your airflow control ring, or a little bit of spit back, like a slightly soggy vape, then that generally is a sign that your coil needs replacing. Now, you could come across this issue with frequent or infrequent use, but generally, if you're a frequent user, this will happen if you've slightly singed the wicker material, not enough to have a burnt taste, but essentially to stop the wicker material doing its job, soaking up e-liquid. It then will over-soak, it will saturate or oversaturate with e-liquid, and you'll start getting, you know, slight hits of e-liquid on your tongue. You'll start getting a little bit of seepage through the base of your tank. If you're using in particular a tobacco flavoured e-liquid, that might mask over some of that burnt flavouring. So just as a general rule of hygiene, maybe change it every 10 days, even if you're a relatively moderate user. But essentially, you'll know when you need to change your coil. It's something that is experience. Experience dictates your knowledge of when to change your coil. 2 identifying factors that are common with when you need to change your coil: burnt taste, muted flavour, slight browning of your e-liquid, or oversaturation, leakage, spitback. They are the 2 key sort of identifiers of when you need to change your coil. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, thumb up the video, comment below on anything you'd like me to cover in the future. And until the next time, I've been me, you've been you, and well done for that.